Hey, greetings football fans. Welcome to the PrepZone preview show, playoff edition, brought to you as always by Naples Dodge Chrysler Jeep. I am J. Scott Butherus. This is John Webb. We're going to break down all the playoff action in Southwest Florida. So let's start off, since we're out at South, let's talk about them a little. This is a team, Anthony Dixon came in. They really didn't miss a beat. I know, Coach Redhead, he's part of your coaching tree. Dixon came off of that too, and it seems like he just carried the torch on, just without missing a beat. Now the only problem is that district that they match up with is absolutely brutal. They face Venice in the first round, and that's pretty tough when the district runner-up is ranked 6th in the state. Yep. So what does South have to do against Venice?
Well, one thing about that Northern District, they have always been very physical. They play great defense. Now, what I think South might have a little more speed than Venice. They've got to be able to break some big plays. They're not going to pound the ball out against Venice. If South is going to win this game, they're going to have to get some people loose. They're going to have to hit some bombs, and they're going to have to play very good defense because Venice is a very physical football team.
Now, the runner-ups here, Gulf Coast, you got to like what they've done. Coach Fomanaya said he had a 4-year plan. He implemented it. Everyone bought in, and he made the playoffs. Unfortunately, though, he's got Braden River. So as good as Venice is, Braden River is even better. They're the second-ranked team in the entire state, and that's a tough draw to start off with. Does Gulf have any chance? And then, if not, how does South, stack up against Braden River?
Well, Bradenton River has only given up 80 points for the year. As I've said many times, I think Gulf Coast is one of the most improved teams in the area. I don't think they can handle Bradenton River. I think Bradenton is too tough for a very, very good Gulf Coast football team, but I think they fall short here. And then the South Bradenton River game, that's going to be a tough one.
All right, let's go down to two-way. And I always love the two-way football around this area because it's always so competitive. Now, starting off, we've got First Baptist. They've had a really good run. We almost thought it was going to be a down year for them, but they proved, just how good a coach Billy Sparacio is out there and what he's been able to do with this team. And, they're really peaking at the right time right now.
You hit it right on the head. First Baptist is peaking. I think they're at the top of the game. I think they win this one. I wouldn't say easily, but I think they've got one of the easier routes right here in this first round. I like First Baptist.
Second round, that's going to be a completely different story. A community school had a very fine year. They're the first time back in the FHSA category after playing as an independent the last few years. And there was some talk, maybe that independent league was a little easier, but they were able to have a very good season. They were impressive in just about everything. That Paul Savidio has done a really good job out there with that program. But they've got Dade Christian, who has made the playoffs for 10 straight years. They've been a power in that 2A. And, if they can't get past community school, you got First Baptist the next round. So, let's talk about that matchup a little.
Not so fast, my friend. Community school's got to travel. Dade's been in the playoffs, I think you said 10 years in a row. They're a very good football team, but I'm picking the upset. I think community school upsets them at Dade.
Yeah, you can make a very good case for that. So let's go to the 5A with Immokalee. And this is a team, me personally, I kind of looked at it, maybe this is a lost season for them, just something to regroup, and you just kind of hope that, they get through the season with some learning experience because they have a really good talent base coming through the pipeline that are freshmen and sophomores right now. But to be able to turn the season around like they have under first-year head coach Dale Moore, you have to give him credit. Mac Joseph has turned out to be a very, very efficient quarterback, pretty much on just pure athleticism, because he'd never played football before this year. And the entire team, there's some coaching changes, some player personnel dismissals and changes. But to be able to come this far, and then they're going to have Lemon Bay in the first round, which is an infinitely winnable game for them. And, they actually might make more noise than we would have expected at the beginning of the season.
Well, to me, this 5A 2 games here. They are the hardest to pick. All 4 of these teams, in this old coach's opinion, they got a hole somewhere. But you are right. Immokalee could win both of these games. Now the problem, Lemon Bay runs a different offense than most people say. They're going to run the wing. It takes a while to get used to this. Lemon Bay has 4 wins, I think by less than 6 points. But they still are, I believe, an 8-2 football team. They play everybody tight. They play pretty good defense. They move the ball up and down the field. They're not going to throw the football. If Immokalee plays error-free and they can get onto this offense, I think they have a great shot to win this first one. This one's going to be close. I like the Indians by a little bit.
Yeah, and you got to like that second-round matchup if it happens to be Dunbar, who won the district. I think if the Indians have to play them again, there's a good chance that they could beat them for a second time around. Now let's go to 6A. One of probably the most intriguing when you talk about just Southwest Florida matchups. You've got Palmetto Ridge, who's probably been one of the best stories of the year, and Fort Myers, and Coach Sirianni, he's football royalty around here. So there's a lot of interest in this game, and it's almost a coin flip. You gotta like what first-year head coach Chris Tokinen has done out there with the Bears, and Sam's always gonna have a very well-coached football team. What do you see out of this one?
Well, I've been on Palmetto Ridge's bandwagon the entire year, but I saw Fort Myers play last Friday against Dunbar. I was very impressed with what Fort Myers has done. They're getting healthy. They're going to get some kids back for the playoffs. This one I think is going to be close. I like Fort Myers off of what I saw last year. I think Palmetto Ridge is the most improved team in our area. I'm not sure they can beat the Greenies Friday.
Now, on the other side of that bracket, we've got Estero, which here's another team we did not expect anything from, especially when Wilkinson Glacial went down at the beginning of the year. And, he would have been probably in that conversation for the best running back in the entire area before he went down with an injury. But somehow, Estero had managed to back into the playoffs, and that says a lot for another first-year coach, Jeff Hanlon, being able to pull these guys together and make something out of this season. Now, having said that, they get Naples at home in that first round of the playoffs. So what do you see out of Estero, and what are they going to have to do against Naples?
What a great job they've done to get to this point. What a bad draw they catch in the Naples Eagles. The Eagles possibly are good enough to go all the way. It's just a bad draw for Estero. They're going to have to try to control the football, not turn it over, and hope that Naples is on a bad day.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that Naples team, because Coach Kramer all year has said this is the team. And, we saw some holes, but those holes were immediately plugged. I mean, is this the year that, they get another state title?
I think Naples gets through the first 2 rounds with somewhat ease. Again, he's got to play Fort Myers, and they have to go to Fort Myers. They're not going to play at Naples. Got to be careful there because the Greenies are very, very tough at home. I think the Eagles can win that one, but if things go the way they're supposed to go, which is always a question mark, that 3rd round, they end up playing a very, very good Charlotte football team, and that could be a great one.
Yeah, definitely. Those are the 2 teams we've heard about all year in the greater Southwest Florida area as being the top 2 teams, and they're on a collision course. And, I'm kind of excited for that one. And basically, from what I've seen from Charlotte, they haven't played really high-caliber opponents. And Naples has been able to show what they can do against really good teams more so. So I think that's going to be probably the game of the year if it comes down to it. Hey, well, thank you so much for tuning in, not just this week, but for the last 5 years, because, it takes something special to be able to do something for 5 straight years. And, we'd also like to thank our sponsors, Naples Chrysler Dodge Jeep. I drive a Jeep. You got yourself a Dodge. We stand behind that, and thank you for them for making this all possible. Don't forget, just because we won't be back this year, we will be keeping up with the coverage. We'll have your news, notes, analysis, everything possible to keep you all the way through until there's no more teams left playing. So hopefully for not our last time, I'm Jay Scott Butherus.
John Weber, this time till next time, we'll see you.
And no matter what happens, don't forget, we always had you covered.